Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Hi. How's it going?
Good.
Welcome to Saturday.
Yay.
Welcome to Warm and Cozy Quilting.
Yes, we did it.
Yay! We need like little streamer popper things.
Oh,
like,
I have some in my desk.
Ooh, that could be horrifying.
Yeah, let's not do that. No.
Welcome to Warm and Cozy Quilting.
I'm Sadie.
That's Sadie. I'm Jason. And we're in Columbia, Illinois.
We sure are.
If you haven't been here, why have you not been here?
Also, weather is weathering and we're all sick of it, so we're not going to talk about it.
I think today's supposed to be a decent day, though.
I think so, but
I think tomorrow's supposed to be down to 40.
I don't.
Or 20.
No.
Or hailstorm tornado. Or
we have
firestorm.
Yes.
Or dust storm. And that's all before noon tomorrow.
Probably. Heat wave.
Over it. It's fine. It's not an earthquake, so.
Yes. Good morning, Deborah. I am shipping department.
Anyway, Warm and Cozy Quilting. If you've never been here, we are a full-service quilt shop. We do all the things. Saturday morning coffee that we have here. I am actually out of coffee, so it's just Saturday morning. Sadie has coffee. Congratulations. We're here to talk about quilty things.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Every Saturday for the last 5 years, for exception of a couple that we may have missed.
Yeah.
Which has happened.
Yeah.
But life happens. So, anyway, we have a whole lot of information all the time. So Here you go. Let's learn some stuff.
And we give it to you for free.
For free.
That's nice.
All I ask is that you hit that share button. It's free. It helps me. It helps you. Help me. Help you.
And we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Spending your time with Warm and Cozy. It's lovely.
Right? And using those reactions lets us know you're out there. Love that. Thank you very much, because sometimes we think we're just talking to a little black box.
Right.
Which generally is what we're doing.
Comments help.
Love the comments.
All of it helps.
Be interactive. Thank you. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Yes, because we're live on YouTube. Also, a lot easier to find stuff after the fact there.
Yes.
So much easier to find stuff.
And their notification system, I feel, is more consistent than Facebook.
It actually works.
That's what I was saying. I was trying to be nice about it.
I'm not. It's Facebook. They don't have feelings.
But yeah, it works pretty well. So check us out over there.
Yeah.
Too.
Please do. Please do. And if you're watching now, say hi. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Hi.
We've got some good mornings.
We do. Let's say hi to some people real quick, and then we'll get into our normal announcement-y stuff, and then we'll get into the meat of the conversation today.
Like a sandwich.
Like, it is.
Yeah.
It's a show sandwich.
Yes.
A sandwich.
Yes.
Good morning, Kelly Rowland. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention that. Running the cameras and doing our production today is Kelly Rowland. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Everybody say hi to Kelly, please, because she really needs support at this point in time.
This is the quilting Kelly Rowland, not the singer Kelly Rowland, just to clarify. We're not that cool yet. Someday.
I don't know that she wasn't in Destiny's Child.
I mean, she might have been.
She very well could have been. How we can't prove otherwise.
You're right.
Honestly, the only picture you ever saw from Destiny's Child was Beyonce. They never really talked about Kelly Rowland in Destiny's Child. So, like,
that's true.
We don't even know. Who was even the third person? Name her.
Michelle, that's right.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Well, obviously you would, because you were in the band.
You were in the band, so you obviously knew them. That makes sense. Tell me, does she quilt?
Are you mispronouncing her name on purpose?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I was like, the first time I'm going to let it go, but twice in a row, I got to.
Anyway, moving on. Good morning, 2.0. Good to see you out there in Tennessee. Monkey bread is ready. That sounds delicious. Fantastic. Morning, Dorothy. Good to see you as well.
Good morning.
Saw her earlier this week.
Yeah, we did. Her. Hi, Dorothy.
Morning, Miss Vicky. Hello, hello. Glad to see you as well.
Hi, Vicky.
Danielle says, Raiden says, hi, Papa. Hi. Hey, what's up, Ducky?
Hi, Raiden.
Stop being troublesome. You're not, are you? Somebody get that boy a chocolate donut.
The other day we were training our next generation on the on the computer out there, checking people out. He was checking out our pal Valerie.
Yeah, how did he do?
He did so good.
Okay, good.
His favorite part was hand the receipt and say goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah. So he kept bye-bye.
Yeah.
We're like, we're not done yet, right?
Yeah,
He's like, no, bye.
Good talking to you yet. Not how retail really works, but you'll get there.
Yeah. First day.
Good morning, Mary. Good to see you on. Hello, Dolores and Joni. That's the Southern Illinois representing right there. Hi, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
Glad to see you're both on. Weather down that direction was horrible this last few weeks. I'm glad you're still afloat.
Weather is weathering.
Weather is weathering. Vicky says, hi, Kelly.
Hi, Vicky.
She's hiding. Hello, Chastity from Indiana. That's a bit away from home.
Hi, Chastity.
Glad to see you on, though. Hello, Jackie. Also Indiana.
Hi, Jackie.
But she lives there. That's her home.
Right.
And hello, Glenna. Good to see you on as well.
Hello.
All right. So a couple things to keep in mind for coming up here in the near future.
Yes.
Future-ish, next couple months now, whatever. The class schedule is out. We have the classes have been updated. There's some things out there now. So
yes,
summer's coming.
Summer is coming. We're figuring it out. There are still probably more classes that will be added shortly, but most of our classes are now finally posted, and you should get a newsletter soon. Don't talk to me about it, but it's coming.
She's the one that brought it up, not me.
I know.
Okay, so that'll happen. That'd be great. Any exciting classes they need to know about?
We have a binding class. We have a beginner's class.
We've had a lot of requests for beginner classes.
We have.
Question, what day of the week is that going to be?
Beginning is on a Saturday.
Is it a multi-Saturday situation?
It is. It's a 2-Saturday in May.
In May.
I think it's the first and second Saturday in May.
Okay, so that'll be coming up real quick.
Yes.
Get it together, guys. Get on them classes. Come on, let's go.
We have a log cabin class, I think next week, like very soon.
That's real soon.
But log cabin, great class, easy beginner class. We also have a quick trip or trip around the world. Both of those are Eleanor Burns books.
We're doing a quick trip class?
Yeah, we are.
I love those. That was the third quilt I ever did.
It was the first quilt I ever did. And it's so great for beginners because you only have to match seams one time.
I can't even imagine how awesome that would be with a Stripology ruler.
Dude.
Oh my gosh. That was before I knew what Stripology was.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, they're beautiful. They always come together great. Like, I've never seen one that looks bad, ever.
Yeah. No, they're always fun. I love them. They're great.
But yeah, we got a binding class. Mom's been trying out some new binding techniques. So even if you've taken her binding class before, this one will be new. New techniques, new things to learn.
Excellent. Just so you know, speaking of classes, a bit further out, but get prepared for it. There is going to be a HandiQuilter education event. Yay!
Yay!
In August. I don't have the actual days in front of me, but I do know it's about mid-ish August.
21st and 22nd, or 23rd and 24th.
Okay, so these
That's a Thursday, Friday, or a Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, so these are very introductory, like boot campy, sort of get to figure out your machine. If you just got a machine, or if you're new to machine, you've had your machine for a while, but you kind of let it sit for far too often, you really want to get some more inspiration, these are the classes to take. Get signed up for those. 2 days of education. We include lunch on both of those days too, don't we?
We sure do, from Cafe on the Abbey. Thanks
so
much, Cafe on the Abbey. By the way, Cafe on the Abbey now does mimosa and latte flights. This is a free plug for them. I'm so excited about them, so I'm telling literally everyone, please go there and do that.
Okay. Should we go now?
Yes, let's go now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
No kidding, obviously not. So anyway, those as far as classes are concerned, be aware of all those. Get signed up for them. Don't wait. A lot of the times those HQ events, people will wait till the last week or two to sign up, and then they'll fill up. If you really want to take one, don't hesitate. Get yourself signed up and get on the books for that sooner than later.
Also good if you just want to know more about long arming.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to have a machine. You don't have to be interested in buying a machine necessarily. You just want to know more. Well, yes, you will be after you touch them and play on them all day. Did we mention it's hands-on?
It is hands-on.
You get to drive the machine and everything. You get to learn how to load them. Like, you will understand your long armor much better after taking these classes. So, great opportunity.
For sure. Perfect. A few more announcements before we go on. I'm going to say hi to some people. They keep kind of popping up over here. Hi, Janet of the Janets.
Hello, Janet.
Hello. Yo, Carol. Good to see you. She was in earlier this week. She had a pretty awesome jacket on.
Oh, my gosh. I know. Carol, I'm serious. I want to see your other jacket. Bring it in.
Please.
Sometime.
She just needs to see it.
I want to see it so bad.
What's happening? Hello, Katie. Good to see you. She just discovered our store in Linear Highland. That's not that far away.
No, we've got other friends in Highland.
Yeah. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it in. Come back and see us more often. Hello, Jackie. We said hello, Jackie, but she's asking about Danielle. That's a really good question. Danielle's doing well.
Yeah.
I will not bring her to work yet, but she could. But I'm trying to keep her at home, let her kind of recoup a little better. But she's doing good. A couple weeks out, just living the life, hanging out, relaxing, recuperating.
Yeah, still recovering, but doing well.
Yep.
We're trying to convince her to stay away as long as everyone can allow.
Right.
for that to happen.
Mainly because if she comes back, she's going to kill all of us, and we don't
Want
need
that.
No.
Also, she needs her rest.
She needs a rest. That's the actual answer.
Yeah.
Kidding, obviously. Good morning, Barb. Good to see you on. And hello, Janice.
Hello, hello.
All right. A couple other things to know about as far as other exciting things for all of you. We do have there are some quilt shows coming up in June.
Yes.
The Hearts and Hands Quilt Show will be in Shiloh, Illinois. Their guild does that every other year. It's going to be a really good show. It's Saturday and Sunday. I believe it's the 7th and 8th of June.
At Whiteside Middle School.
Whiteside Middle School. The Threads of Friendship Guild,
Yes.
Down in Farmington area, will have their quilt show on June 7th.
You might notice that that's the same date.
They are the same date. I need to verify that I sent my paperwork into Jody to be there for that one, because we're going to split ourselves up and go to both shows.
Also,
it's going to be a good time.
Important to know, on June 7th, that is a Saturday, the shop will be closed.
We're going to probably close the shop that day because we're going to be split up at 2 quilt shows. So heads up, fair warning.
It'll be a very quilty weekend.
So much to do.
Make the most
so many
of it.
places. So just kind of a heads up on that. You've heard it here first. We'll have more posts and stuff go out on that. So June's going to be a busy month for shows.
Yeah, for sure.
For businesses and shop owners and people that like to know the things that are coming out and coming out soon, H&H is coming in May. I don't know if we're going to make it there or not. I'm hoping we can figure that out. So still some questionable variables that we're trying to hack some things down.
H&H is a industry trade show.
It is.
So the fun part about you knowing that H&H is coming up is that a lot of companies wait to announce things until H&H. And all the newest gadgets are there. So we will probably be bringing back all kinds of great information, new gadgets, new notions, new ideas. So that's always an exciting time for us and for you.
That's the open plan. We'll see how that pans out. But that's in the middle of May? Middle of May?
Second week, I think.
It's fine. Who needs to know all that information? And last but not least, mark your calendars. Last week of July, Monroe County Fair.
That's right.
We'll be at the Monroe County Fair again because it's fun.
It is fun.
It's kind of hot, but it's fun.
Yeah. There is a wide range of things to see and also delicious food to eat. So,
it's mostly the food. I go for the food.
We're there
really,
for the food.
That's really the only reason I'm there.
Well, and the quilts. There are quilts.
Oh, yeah. The
that
quilts are
people
fun.
submit.
I mean, those are fun.
There's also animals. That part is not so interesting to me. Like, very, very cool. I am glad for farmers.
There's horse racing.
Yes.
There's like all sorts of
There's Derby Day.
There's cars smashing into each other.
There's a free night. There's rides.
Beer.
It's so exciting.
And
you should totally go.
And tractors. I'm really not selling myself on this anymore. I seem to have moved past that. Oh, well, it'll be fun.
There's food.
There's food.
Remember the food, Jason. That'll get you there.
And we get to meet people. So it's fun. It's absolutely worth the time and effort. So anyway, but more pressing matters, though, is that there will be a show and tell.
Yes.
Last Saturday of the month, April 26th. That's coming up in 2 weeks. Bring your projects.
Does it have to be a quilt?
It does not have to be a quilt.
Does it have to be done?
God, no, absolutely not.
Cool.
What are you working on? What do you want to show off to all your quilty friends?
Is it a bag? Is it a coat? Is it just blocks?
Is it chainmail?
Is it chickens?
Is it chickens?
We
if
had
you bring
chickens
in a Frankenstein chicken.
Not like a live chicken, like a quilt block that is got a chicken.
That's so much more
a piece chicken.
Polite. Please don't bring in a Frankenstein's chicken. I'm gonna turn it back to life. No, you're gonna have to just go.
Please don't bring live animals.
Please don't bring the live animals.
Service animals are certainly welcome.
Of course.
But otherwise, please leave your animals at home. Thank you.
This is my support llama. Eek. No, I'm kidding. We don't have one of those. Anyway, but again, mark your calendars. That's 2 Saturdays from now, the April 26th. Make sure you're here for that. It's always been a good time. I enjoy it. It's getting more fun. We've been doing like attendance prizes too.
Yeah.
So that's been fun.
Trying to get people to come and show your stuff off. Like, you guys are all amazing. You make the coolest stuff.
They really do. Like, it's exciting. I enjoy it every time.
Yeah.
Hello, Loretta. Good to see you on.
Hi, Loretta.
Perfect. All right. Oh, I just moved things.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. Anyway,
everything's fine.
What else do we have to tell them? Anything exciting that I have forgotten about?
I mean, there's always exciting things going on. I will just remind everyone again that we got an influx of fabric, which means we shuffled things around. So if you haven't been in a week or two, you should come in because there's so much new fabric. We've moved things around and we have so much stuff on clearance. So there are definitely deals to be had. Please come in.
That's a really good segue. Nicely done. Did you do that on purpose?
I did.
Okay, very cool.
You're welcome.
Segue, because what are we going to talk about today? Hi, Stacy. what are you going to do with pricing of things? How in the heck do we manage quilting budgetarily?
Right.
So let's be real. 25 has been kind of a train wreck for quilty people.
There's been so much happening in the quilty world.
So much. A lot of people are mourning the loss of Joann's.
Yes.
I do mourn it for those folks that use Joann's for all the crafts.
Oh my
because
gosh,
they had
yes.
so many different crafts and things that they covered that local specialty shops may not necessarily cover in people's areas.
Sure.
That's huge. That's
That is
unfortunate.
huge.
I feel bad for you guys. For folks that are quilting, I mean, we got quilt shops. We got so many quilt shops in the St. Louis area.
Yes.
We are spoiled in this area, guys. Know that.
Correct.
If you're not in the St. Louis area, you live in the middle of nowhere, and your nearest local quilt shop is an hour and a half to 4 hours away.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It exists. It's real, and it's unfortunate.
Hi, I'm shipping department. I will mail wherever you are.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Absolutely. No big deal.
But also people are losing their jobs. That's always sad.
That's always sad, too.
And
Absolutely.
Joann's had, great hours for some working folks. So that's really sad to be losing that as well.
Hours is kind of the biggest thing for folks. So
For sure.
that time frame. Because working folk, you have time, you only have so much time.
Exactly.
So, quilt shops, we're doing our best. We'll try to keep up with the masses as best we can. In addition to that, we have the conversation of the tariffs, increasing prices on stuff. People are panicking about this a little bit. For good reason. Prices are going to go up. We lost our cheap fabric source, and we're having price increases on what we do have.
Yes.
It's a tough combination.
Yes.
So we're all very much like, oh no, what am I going to do?
Correct.
So, and then of course, cost of living. It never seems to go down.
My goodness.
I mean, every year I've been alive, it seems to go up. So I guess that's life.
Yes.
Here's the deal. There are options. There are things you can do. Not that I want to do them.
Right.
Because, no, I'm spoiled. However, there's some things I asked Google, actually. I asked the Googly AI. I did. I went Googly AI again. I said, dear Googly. And this is my phrasing was, what are some ways to save money with quilting?
Nice.
So, of course, it gave me a list. So,
we're going to talk about some
we're going to go through this, and we're going to see how well they do, because AI.
Right.
Sometimes it does great.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But it's always been our ethos to, do the best with what you have and what you can afford.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes it means you have to get a little bit resourceful.
Yeah, I mean, quilting was based on working with what you have, creating from things that were no longer useful. Clothing.
Exactly.
I wore that shirt out. I can't do anything else with it. You can only make so many shirts and pieces of paper out of it. So
Or the feed sacks. I mean, feed sacks became pretty because people were using them.
right, because it's there. Resourcefulness.
Yes.
This is how we operate. This is what we do. Crafty people doing crafty things.
Yes.
Making full use of it all.
All right. So what do we suggest? What does Google tell us to do?
All right, here we go. Let's get a good starting point here. So, Google says their phrasing is to save money while quilting, focus on fabric repurposing, utilizing thrift stores and garage sales, and taking advantage of fabric sales and discounts. Consider using solid fabrics or thrifted bed sheets for backing, and opting for less expensive quilting methods like hand quilting or hand piecing. Every bit of that makes me a little bit sad.
There's a lot of that. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
So unfortunately, we are not impartial on this conversation.
Right.
We are a store. That's how we operate, is selling fabric and the good quality stuff and all those things. However, again, I said I would talk reality with you guys, and that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
So again, not terrible as far as a synopsis from the Googling. Cool.
Sure.
I get it. All right. Let's talk a little bit more detail here. Repurpose and upcycle fabrics. Realistically, this is not a bad idea.
No, it's great.
Because Victoria did a speech, was talking about doing a speech on disposable, like just the way the clothing fabric line is currently.
Yes.
Like you buy a shirt to you wear it one time and then it gets thrown away.
Right.
It's not really being upcycled. It's not being reused. It's one and done.
Right. The quality of clothing has significantly gone down.
So really, we're filling landfills with clothing.
Yes.
Like this is insanity.
It is insanity.
So taking those fabrics and reusing them to create something with it, awesome. Will it match that quality of what we're expecting for a quilt? Not every shirt can do that.
Correct.
However, if you can, it's not a bad idea if you can figure it out.
Yeah.
I am not that person.
Especially, I would say vintage clothing.
Yeah.
Just because I know that a lot of modern clothing They're cutting corners any way they can. So,
Yeah.
even you get a great shirt, you love it, you wash it 4 times and it's already got holes in it,
Right.
I wouldn't maybe use that shirt to then make a quilt I'm hoping will last forever, is all I'm saying.
Right.
But if you've got, like vintage, good name stuff lying around, like absolutely cut it up, use it in a quilt. Go for it.
The other thing, the other cycle direction of that is if you're into clothes making,
Yeah,
recycling a quilt.
absolutely.
Quilted clothing. Have you seen I've seen so much quilted stuff lately for
I'm
clothing.
obsessed.
It's insane. There was a gal at the Bits and Pieces quilt show walking around that had this whole skirt outfit going on. Holy cow, who has time for this?
I love it. I want
I
to do
don't.
it, but I don't understand clothes. So anyway, eventually, I have the potential.
In time, maybe we'll get you there.
It's fine.
But anyway, yeah, upcycling and recycling and repurposing those things. So look for old clothes, linens, household items with 100% cotton.
Yes.
That's like you were saying, focus for those 100% cotton things. Watch out for those blendedy things. Repurpose used items like vintage tablecloths, old shirts, and even sheets to create unique and budget-friendly quilts.
Yes.
I mean, they are fabric. They are 100% cotton. I mean, sure.
Yeah.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there was a fellow that used to be in the Waterloo Guild here. Suddenly can't think of his name. He used to do clothing that way and shirts and quilts out of whatever he could find that was 100% cotton.
Kurt.
Good Lord, I couldn't think of his name.
Our pal Kurt.
He used to do that kind of stuff. So it's just economically friendly, environmentally friendly, not a bad idea.
Right.
And this one, to kind of speak to Loretta's point here, consider fabric that's already available in your home, reducing the need to purchase new fabric.
Like stash.
Maybe you've bought some fabric over the years. Maybe it's just hanging out. Maybe it's just pretty and decorative. Maybe it's time to do something with that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Absolutely. You liked it once,
You bought it for a reason. But yeah, so that's definitely something to consider for sure. What's Danielle saying here? Buying kits are a great option. Get everything you need for that project in the correct amounts, and you don't have to buy other fabrics to make that one project.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good way to kind of consolidate what you're purchasing, get what you need, and by way of a kit.
Yeah, I have definitely seen that some people's shopping habits have changed, where before they would be like, I just love the fabric. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm buying it.
Right.
Which absolutely is sometimes how I live my life. So no shame here.
Right.
But I've seen that a lot of people are now like, no, I'm only buying for a specific project, trying to curb that a little bit. That can help.
It can. So again, being mindful about what you're purchasing. I like that idea of the repurpose and upcycle.
For sure.
I feel like maybe we need to do a challenge of some sort with that. See what comes up with.
That would be cool.
Actually, that's not even necessary because you know what? We kind of do that already.
Monthly mystery quilts.
Monthly mystery quilts. Yes,
Yeah.
show and tell, but our monthly mystery quilts.
Right.
You buy the pattern, you use whatever fabric stash you have. Yes, you can absolutely buy fabric from us that day if you want to, or use it to make something.
Right.
Make a quilt. Ta-da, you're done. And then you can come show it off. And then you get the next month's for free, like the next pattern.
Yeah.
Again, you could go an entire year without spending more for a pattern and using up stash that you have.
And if you get a free pattern and you're already using fabric in your house, it's like a free quilt.
It's like a free quilt, for sure.
That is so fun.
Magical.
Feels so good when you make a free quilt.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Stacy loves her scraps, but you always need new fabric. Yes, you have to replenish occasionally. And yes, you're going to need to match something. You're going to have to blend something. Absolutely. So I think being mindful of that and trying to use up what you have and then also adding in just as much as you need to can help you stay a little bit more on track with a budget.
Right.
Believe me, if you walk in the store, though, I'm not going to adhere to your budget. We're going to buy all the stuff. Sorry, not sorry.
Unfortunately, you have to be in charge of that because we
are not. We can't.
Dude, I am not even in charge of my own budget.
I don't
Okay,
know what
I
the
will tell
budget
myself
is.
I'm not going to buy something pretty, but I have to walk by it like 100 times every day.
It almost sounds contagious. I don't know what budget is, but no thanks.
So
I'll pass.
I buy a lot of pretty fabric. And you know what? Fabric brings me joy, and sometimes that's in short supply, so leave me alone.
Yeah, right? Leave me alone. All right. So the next thing you could do to try to help budget yourself with this whole quilty related world.
Sure.
Thrift and garage sales. Now there's some there. We're going to see what Googly says about this. Danielle, do you have to use your stash? No. No, you don't have to. But when it comes to either we're going to have dinner or you're going to have to buy new fabric, that's going to be some real pretty fabric.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be hungry. That's okay. I'm kidding, obviously. Thrift and garage sales. Thrift stores can be a gold mine for finding fabric at a discounted price. Absolutely.
Totally.
Same with checking with your local thrift shops. Garage sales, estate sales for quilt quality yardage and sewing equipment. Let's be real. Sometimes if somebody passes and they had quite the collection, if they didn't explicitly say, hey, Jim, for the love of everything, talk to Betty. Don't just throw this out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Find out, like, give it to her. She'll sell it. She'll do whatever with it. Sometimes that doesn't work out. So here's the kids come in, they grab all the stuff, and they're like, here you go, $5 for 400 yards of fabric.
Yeah.
I hope not, but like these things happen. So a great way to build a stash real quick. Local buy-sell free groups on Facebook can be a great source of finding fabric from other quilters. There are swap and sell sites that I've run into.
Absolutely.
Fabric groups on Facebook that sometimes they'll have free fabric, but generally it's a buy-sell kind of thing. But always something to watch out for.
For sure.
Generally, could be good quality fabric.
Could be.
Of course, you don't know what you're getting.
Yes. And the other kind of caveat to that is you don't know maybe the environment that they came from.
Right.
So be mindful of pets that may or may not have been in that home, or certain habits like maybe smoking or not storing fabric in a great way. You might have smells to contend with.
So be prepared for that conversation.
Correct.
That is a real thing. Could really be a problem.
Yeah, not something that you like can't overcome, but just something you're going to have to contend with potentially.
But if you need to be budget friendly,
yeah,
there you go. It is an option. So I think that's a good one. I don't thrift store at all. Have you ever been to a thrift store and seen quilting fabrics laying around? Have you really?
Have. Sometimes the Savers and Crestwood has like crafty stuff.
Okay.
I've gotten yarn and crochet hooks and things. Not that I do any of that also, but
you just have it?
Yeah.
Anything you decide to?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
I am big on, I need the potential to do things,
If
okay?
it's Saturday night and I'm bored out of my mind, I'm going to try crochet.
I got the stuff. I'm
Look,
ready.
It's there.
Yeah,
I mean, that's,
perfect.
I guess.
That's how I live my life. You can be like me or you cannot. But anyway.
Okay.
So I have found crafty stuff there. So yeah, it's not impossible. It does exist.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, how many of you guys use this idea, thrift and garage sales? I'm just kind of curious. Is this something that's common for you all? Have you all experienced this? Do you do it this way? I personally don't think I could do it.
I feel like I hear more people getting stuff from estate sales.
Okay.
That tends to be where you find more quilty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've heard some incredible deals from estate sales.
Okay.
Plus, you usually have a large variety of things to look at that point, right?
Right.
Because you're shopping somebody's whole stash.
Right.
So.
Okay. Saver has also had vintage machines.
Oh, yes.
That's fun. I could believe that being a thing.
Yes, I have seen many people rescue a machine from a thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a very good thought.
I mean, and that's another thing to consider too. Like, when we're talking budget friendly, it's not even necessarily fabric. Sometimes you just need a machine for whatever purpose.
Absolutely.
Maybe you want a used machine. The hazard with that is know that with the used machine comes whatever problems existed prior to it. Why did they get rid of it? So it may not always be the best deal.
Right.
But if you're mechanically minded, some of the older machines are pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It will be entirely up to you to find the third parties pieces and parts to make that work properly. But
yes,
not a bad idea.
Mean, I have a vintage machine in my arsenal. It's really my backup machine. If anything, God forbid, happens to my Janome, oh my God. Thankfully, I have a technician right here.
Maybe,
but
I mean, short of drop kicking it across the floor, I don't. She should just go.
Maybe she just needs her maintenance, and I can't live that long without my machine.
Well,
I have a second one.
If you don't get it maintenance, you're going to live a lot longer without it.
I know. So
just saying.
So yeah, I have rescued a vintage machine myself.
Okay.
I don't use her very often, but it's there. It's my backup machine.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Love it. Loretta hasn't used it for quilting fabric, but she does it for other crafting stuff. Actually, that's really smart.
Yeah.
I think if it's in just the general crafting world for all the things that people need, like, that's a good source.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do some scrapbooking. Okay. Also, I buy things for scrapbooking and I don't do scrapbooking. This is a lot of me
What
calling
craft
myself
have you
out.
not started yet? Let's start there. Have you started into fishing yet? Because
No fishing. No fishing.
Okay.
But yeah, I have bought scrapbooking supplies, thrifting and garage sailing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fun. All right. So there you go. That's again another great source to kind of help you with that whole price budget thing. The next point that Googly brought up was to embrace sales and discounts. Yes.
100%.
Yes. Now, let's talk about discounts before I read in what Google says on that. Look, guys, I hate to break this to you, but I have to. Okay. Here's the deal.
I'm ready.
Joann's would send out coupons all the time for huge savings.
Yes.
Do you know that they highly marked up their materials so that you will pay pretty much what you pay for at a local shop that carries the same thing? Sometimes it'll be slightly less than maybe a store would be, but not significantly enough that I think it's worth the effort. So just be careful with that. Battings were a big thing.
Oh my
They
gosh,
would super mark up batting so that they would, and basically you would buy it for what you would have bought it for here. I'm not saying feel bad for not buying batting from me. Like, that's not my point. Just be mindful of those.
Yes.
Stripology rulers, you can't sell them for any less than $78.99 on the internet.
Correct.
You go searching for them on the internet, you know what they're priced at? 10 whatever, 100 and something dollars. So they can discount them 20% to the $78.99. Be careful with that discount idea, guys. Be smart. Be a smart shopper. That said, take advantage of those sales when they happen.
Yes.
Okay? Stock up on those sales, the solids, all that favorite print stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Smart time to do it.
Anytime there's a sale, I personally am always thinking about what do I need to complete a project, right? Because I'm good at buying the pretty fabric when it comes in because it's pretty. So especially when a sale comes up, if you can find background fabric or wide backs that are going to finish stuff up, that's a great time to snatch those up.
Right. It absolutely is. Consider using clearance shelves or remnant bins at your local favorite or fabric store. We have a clearance section. We actually are trying to bolster that and make more of our fabric clearance. Not try to, it's just we keep getting stuff in and I don't have room for it. So we're taking good quality material and we're putting it on clearance, like get it out of my store. So
yes,
for us, there's absolutely that option.
For sure.
We do have remnant stuff around, like Mom takes those and packages them nice and pretty. They're around the store too. So check those out. And sign up for newsletters from your favorite store to stay informed about upcoming sales and discounts.
Yes.
Now, we haven't had a massive sale in a long time.
We haven't. I mean, besides every Wednesday.
But, you know, we've had our 579 sale.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, those sales are crazy. End of bolts are always fun. By the way, we do end of bolt all the time here, if you didn't know that. So you come in the shop, you purchase the entirety of the bolt. Whatever is on that bolt, you take the whole piece. It's always a standing 20% discount onto that whole entire piece.
Yes.
Loyalty members get a little bit more of a discount. But for the rest of y'all that show up and want to just grab that whole bolt of whatever, save 20%, man.
If you have a particular solid that you love to use as a background, you're like, rice paper is my favorite background.
It's not white.
It's off-white.
Very off-white.
Call me. I will order you a whole bolt. And that whole bolt is still the end of the bolt, so you'll get it for 20% off.
Right, man. There you go. Save some money, guys. Save the money. Do it right. And that's where those loyalty cards come in. You know, you save a little bit extra on top of that. So, like, completely makes it worth the money, makes it worth the effort. So, embrace the sales and the discounts. Check out all those clearance stuff. I don't know if I've ever been in a shop that doesn't have a clearance section.
Most shops do.
Most of them do.
Occasionally, they'll have a minimum cut in your clearance section, so be mindful of that.
Yeah, play by their rules. That's
obviously.
Fair.
But yes, clearance is a great way to go.
Okay. Real quick, somebody asked about how the loyalty program here at the shop. So the loyalty program is an in-store savings program.
Yes.
When you have your loyalty card, it gets you 10% off your purchases all the time.
Correct.
So we used to do, you know, this club discount and those people discount and this discount. Unfortunately, those all started getting abused, misappropriated. People were using them inappropriately. So
it's just hard to manage.
Very difficult to keep track of that.
Are you in a guild? Are you not? Who knows?
So what we started was this loyalty program where you buy this card. It's $50. With that, again, 10% off everything. You need batting, you need notions, you need fabric, you need backing, 10% all the time. It does not apply to machines, services, creative grids, rulers, stripology stuff. But beyond that, like, there's a lot of fabric and notions to be had. So
absolutely,
you'll save money. Once a quarter, We have a month where you have an entire month to come in and pick out 1 yard of fabric. You get that whole yard for free.
Has to be a 45-inch, so it
Has
can't
to
be a wide back.
Right, not off a wide back, 45 cotton.
But you get to pick. We're not passing off our unfortunate fabric.
Nope. Whatever you want.
It's entirely up to you. If you want a free yard of Tula Pink, come on and get it.
You want a free yard of a solid? I mean, I'm not going to stop you. Actually, that's a lie. I will try to stop you. But there are customers that just go straight for the solids. That's what they want.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, are you sure you want your free yard to be a solid? Like, we're trying to get you to save money here.
And then the last component of that is 20% off on 5th Saturdays.
Correct.
So May has a 5th Saturday. So on that 5th Saturday, you come in, you get 20% off your entire purchase. So your discount is doubled at that point, which is nice.
Right.
So I would strongly encourage you, if you don't have a loyalty card and you're local, come get one. I still haven't figured out how to make it an online thing. I apologize for that. Oh, our system's only so capable. But for the rest of you that are locally, here you go. This is your chance.
I mean, and if you think about it, like, we did already miss first quarter free yard of fabric.
Sure.
That's already passed. However, a lot of our fabric is coming in at like $14.49 a yard. So it is still absolutely worth it, even if you just get your 3 free yards of fabric and you don't, consider the 10% you're saving all the time, and the potential 20% on 5th Saturdays, and the potential extra sales and exclusive shopping days that we also give here and there.
Aside from the fabric, if you intend on spending about $500 this year, this January to December is what the loyalty card program runs. If you have a budget for $500 for the rest of the year, you have paid for that card.
Absolutely.
Aside from the free fabric you're going to get.
Correct.
So, listen, if you don't have it, I don't know what you're waiting for. So this is that whole saving money while fabric purchasing or keeping your quilty going, right?
And it's just our way to say thanks for being a frequent flyer, you know?
Okay. There we go. Let's see here. And that's, again, so embracing sales and discounts, can't enforce that enough. Again, a lot of shops have something. If they don't, that's okay. I mean, just ask. Doesn't hurt sometimes. All right. Number 4, utilize less expensive backing fabrics. That hurt my soul a little bit. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Maybe it's just because maybe I'm a bit snobbish. I'm a fabric snob, guys. Look, you work for this many years inside of a fabric store and you're only used to a certain quality. Like, you get snobby about it. I ain't trying to be. I'm sorry if I am. But I kind of am. Also, going and quilting these things up, you run a long arm for a couple years, you kind of recognize the difference between materials. There is some difference. Will it work to use a thrifted bed sheet for backing? Yes. Yes, you can do it.
You can.
Do I encourage such behavior? No. How about you, Kelly? How do you feel about the bed sheets?
Pretty much same.
She's on the same page as I am. So we're not judging if you do it. That's fine. Use what makes the most sense. If that's going to save you your money to get you that project done, go for it. This is such a weird Google. Oh, you make my soul hurt, Google. Because it also says, avoid purchasing expensive backing fabrics as they're not always necessary.
Ooh, that makes me hurt. Okay,
it's quilting. How necessary is quilting?
Sure.
We enjoy it.
Here's the counter argument.
Go ahead.
You have spent hours and hours and hours piecing this top.
Yes.
Potentially with good quality fabric.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe you aren't getting the best quality for your top either. But you've put so many hours into making this beautiful thing. I don't want it to fall apart on you.
Yeah, there's that.
With lots of wash and use. So, I mean, if it is something that you are hoping is going to be an heirloom quilt, passed down, used a bunch, don't cheap out on the backing to save money. Because you don't want... That's the part that touches you, right? So that gets so much wear.
Yeah.
Just consider that.
So yeah, Joni's right. It's just exactly what you're saying. After all the time and money on the piece top, no way. Like, that's crazy, right?
Right. I know we all want to save money, but really quality tools, quality fabric, quality thread, it all adds to the longevity of the quilt top in the end.
So I have to ask the question because, again, I don't thrift shop. You ask anybody in my family if they're like, we're going to go to the thrift shop. Nope. Have fun.
I take your kids to the thrift shop.
My kids go by themselves. I want nothing to do with it. I've never been one. So, like, when it comes to thrifted bed sheets, are they like somebody bought one, it's still in the package, they're like, oh, we'll never use that, and they donate it? So, like, you go there and you have a package? Or it's like, Oh, that was slightly used, and now it's folded nice and pretty on the shelf.
Yeah, no, they're on a hanger.
Oh, God, no.
Just,
What?
willy-nilly. You don't have the history. That person could have used that sheet never. They could have used it 1,000 times.
All right, see, for that reason, I would never in my life.
Do you see him
No.
cringing? His shoulders
My whole
are
body
in his ears.
is just like, nope.
There is just a level of
Okay, see,
other people-ness to it that makes you so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable for me right now, guys. Again, if that's where you're at and you're okay with it, that's cool. Embrace it, go for it. But again, Team Jason here, I can't. Nah.
And again, no shade to anybody who does it, because absolutely use what you have. But I would be heartbroken to see something you spent that much time and money and fall apart on you.
The other thing to that, just to throw it out there, bleach, scalding hot water 15 times at least. Yes, ma'am.
Of course.
Here's my thoughts. If you're using a bed sheet, so most quilting cottons, especially for backings, are really around the 200 to 400 thread count. Okay, so that's not wildly dense. If you get a bed sheet that's one of those super smooth, super nice, like 1,000 thread count, you have a lot denser quilt or thread weave happening there. Okay, if you're using that on a machine and you start stitching through that, I can't imagine that at some point that needle's not going to actually pierce and fray pieces of that material on the backing. If that starts happening, how long is that backing really going to hold together? That's my concern. I have no justification or proof of that, but just again, there's reason for why we do sometimes, not just because we like to be rich and fancy.
Sure.
So just keep an eye out for that and be aware of that kind of stuff. Again, though, I get it. If that's what you're using, cool.
Sure.
Use what makes sense for you. This one says, consider using flannel sheets, which can be a great alternative to fabric. You know what? A flannel backing, it'll keep you nice and warm.
Dude, we have some flannel backings coming.
Do we?
That are Stonehenge.
Get out. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Oh, my
So if you love the feel of a flannel backing, we do have some on the way.
I will have some of that in my inventory. I mean, I don't have a stash. Oh, wait, yes, I do, because I refuse to make anything. I just have a whole bunch of fabric.
But yes, flannel makes a lovely back. It makes it a little, softer, a little cuddlier.
Right.
It's still cotton. It's just brushed in a way that makes it nice. I don't understand, but that's what I hear.
That's how it works out. Okay. Number 5, hand piecing and quilting. Not for me. Hand piecing and hand quilting can be more cost effective than machine piecing and machine quilting. True. Hand quilting can also be more mindful and a creative process. Yeah, I can see that. You really got to pay attention to what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to put a needle in your finger. No, thank you. And consider working on quilting projects with friends or joining a quilt guild to share ideas and resources. That's kind of a left turn-ish there for that whole hand piecing thing, but
absolutely a great recommendation.
Right, finding a group, a guild that kind of joins that same, thought process. That's always fun. I mean, there's hand quilting guilds out there and groups out there. So,
yeah, I love shopping my friend's stash. It's way more fun than shopping my stash.
Right, because I don't have that. Can I get some of that?
So yeah, if you need more quilty friends to share stash or swap scraps or any of that, guilds are a great way to do that. If there's a quilting group at your community center, library, church, whatever, check those out for sure.
Because the other thing to that is, and I was reading this, I don't remember what I was, I kind of came on with this topic because I was in one of the Facebook groups, as I always am, watching and reading and seeing what people are complaining about. Somebody was saying how they were in a guild, and pretty much anytime anyone that's a quilter in their area passes, they get all the stuff donated to the guild. And so the guild brings all the stuff in, lays it out all over the table, and it's basically here free. Go nuts. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying join a guild purely for the idea of possibly free fabric. That's not the right reason. However, it is a byproduct of it.
Absolutely. Or they'll have a free table at a meeting where you can come and bring in those fat quarters that just don't bring you joy anymore. Right. Or whatever.
Things like that. But back to that hand piecing and quilting idea. I mean, if you're not paying for a machine, I mean, that's savings.
Yeah. You are cutting the cost of your machine and the maintenance for your machine.
On the cost of your time and labor.
Correct.
Which is, I mean, I think it's quite valuable. So, again, I'm going to not wholly 100% agree with Google on that one. You're doing okay, AI, but still need some tweaking on that. All right. So last point that Googly had for us was number 6. Consider less expensive quilting methods. Opt for a simpler quilt pattern that requires less fabric. Okay.
All right.
Fair. Explore techniques like scrap quilting or patchwork quilts, which can be created using smaller pieces of fabric.
Absolutely.
That's that whole using all of your fabric, making sure you're not wasting any of it. That's a brilliant idea. And like Danielle mentioned earlier, using pre-cut fabrics and or kits kind of help with, keep you more budget friendly and staying on that project path.
Right, like shopping for a specific project.
Correct. So how do we feel about that idea for considering less expensive quilting methods?
I do like it. I do feel that there is a level of organization that you need to have with your scraps. So we
Yeah.
talk a lot about, cutting up your scraps into usable pieces. Maybe you like a 2.5-inch square or something. Then when you're finished with the quilt, kind of cut those scraps up as you go. Makes it a little less daunting.
I think that's got to be the part that scares me the most when they come with the idea of scraps. Because to me, when you say scraps, I'm thinking here's a bin full of fabric with no organization to it. Like
That's
I'm not
definitely
touching that.
how it is in my house.
Right? So I'm not even gonna try to contend with that.
No.
I can't. My whole body's like, nope, that's tedious. Don't do it. Run away.
I love, like I said, I love the joy of having a quote unquote free quilt. So if it comes all out of my scraps, to me that's free because I didn't buy it for that and
Fair.
for that purpose. But I also sometimes struggle with a patchwork or a scrappy quilt because it doesn't bring me joy as
Right.
much as the new fabric that has inspired me to make this project specifically.
Right.
So again, if that's not where your joy comes from, maybe this isn't the advice for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But the one other thing I like to mention here that I kind of glossed over and I shouldn't have, opting for a simpler quilt pattern that requires less fabric. So there was a couple months ago, and every now and then you'll see it pop up in the Facebook feeds talking about what the cost is of a quilt, actual cost of a quilt. And the given size was roughly throw-ish size, maybe something like that. And it said like 7 or 8 yards of fabric. And everybody's like, that's insane for a throw size, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. Depending on the technically difficult part, like how technically difficult that quilt is, I've seen quilts throw to queen size run upwards of double-digit numbers easily.
For sure.
Versus a simple version of the of a pattern being 5-6 yards. Like, it makes a difference. If you just enjoy the quilting process,
Yes.
and you want to be able to accomplish something, maybe don't go off the deep end with pattern difficulty all the time.
Right.
We'll help you out with that cost scenario.
Of course.
So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah. I am going to point out that most of these we're talking about how to save money for piecing quilt tops. There are ways to save money for actually quilting your quilt as well that we didn't really.
Well, that was the hand quilting that was in the previous section.
That's true.
Briefly, because, yeah.
But you could quilt it on your domestic machine.
You absolutely can.
So you wouldn't necessarily have to pay for someone to long arm it. You can also utilize programs like we have where you can learn how to use a long arm and rent our long arm to complete your projects yourself.
Yeah.
I know some folks know a long armor and they barter in some way.
Yeah.
So you can't barter with us really, so don't try. But
I will barter with money.
Right. That might be an option if you have a friend who has a long arm, make them pies in exchange for long arming or something.
Right, whatever it may take. Again, that's still time, money, effort, whatever. But again, there are options there, and you absolutely can use those. Good point, Loretta. Fussy cutting, when it comes to fabric requirements, is super demanding.
It is.
Super demanding. Will absolutely almost double the amount that you need of a particular fabric if you're going to fussy cut. So, yes, be mindful if that's part of the project.
Right.
So, I'm just going to go back up here to Donnell. She had a bit of a conversation I wanted to grab a hold of.
Yeah, of course.
Donnell, not a drinker, smoker, gambler, so that quilting and sewing is her idea of a good time.
Absolutely.
Love that. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at in life. It's fun for me. I mean, I don't like piecing, but I like the quilting side of it. She buys the best quality she can afford because, I mean, if you don't have a vice, you got to put it somewhere, right?
Of course.
And likes to support local over big box. Appreciate you very much for that, Donnell.
Very
Thank you.
much, yes.
And then that's after working more than 40 years in retail. Holy goodness.
Wow.
She's in the minority, but not sorry to hear about Joanne's closing. Poor service, understaffed. I mean, big box store. It's tough to keep staff excited and happy to be there. So you know,
Yes.
it's tough all the way around. Your loyalty program is a real cost saver. By very few patterns, as there are over 50 on YouTube that want to try for free. There
Yeah.
are so many free patterns out there. Actually, and Glenna mentioned that about being, scrappy ideas on Pinterest.
For sure.
Free patterns everywhere out there.
I know the internet is a great resource. Check it out.
Yep. Her everyday sewing machine is only $500, and she sews on her computer desk, and she buys it for specific projects. Like, that is kind of the consensus for quilting in general. Like,
Sure.
that seems to be the running theme, if you will.
And absolutely, we're biased. We run a small business, so
Yeah.
we love small businesses, and we hope that more people support them. I do understand that the big box stores often can offer a level of convenience
Yeah.
that is just not feasible on a small business scale.
Right.
So I never want to shame anybody who does shop at a larger business.
No. You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. Make your choices in a way that makes sense to you. But
Mhm.
absolutely love supporting small businesses. And if you've been into small local quilt shops, they all have their own unique flavor and personality.
They do.
And it's really just kind of fun to get to, see how they quilt and what things bring them joy and what things that they can offer.
Right.
So definitely check out your local quilt shop if you can.
And if you haven't had a chance to come through and visit our shop, we did pay to have somebody come in and do a 360 walkthrough of our quilt shop.
Oh my God, it's so fun. I've been
It's
playing
pretty
with
nifty
it.
neat. I enjoy it. Actually, I've gone through it a few times, both on my phone and on my computer. But if you go to Google Maps and you go to find Warm and Cozy Quilting, you'll see that you can do the street view at our shop. And you can come from the outside in and look around the shop, go through the long arm area. Kelly was not excited that they had pictures of her long arm area in there, but she wasn't in it, so it's okay. You can take you back to the classroom so you can kind of see that, how it's laid out. So it's a really, really cool thing. I'm kind of glad we did it.
Yeah, I really like it too. I will say that they came here about a month ago. So fabric has already moved.
Yeah.
Things have already changed since they've been here. So I wouldn't use it as let's see if they have the specific print in stock.
Right, no. No.
But if you just want to get a vibe as to like the things that we carry, the way that we display things, that kind of thing, definitely check it out.
It's a good way to see it all kind of there. But again, yeah, you're right, because boy, it changed so quick.
Absolutely.
I looked through it, I'm like, that's gone. That's gone. That's
Right.
not there anymore.
Right.
But that's okay. That's kind of how it goes. And we kind of all grown to accept that. So
Of course.
Um,
And if you're in a larger city like we are, we're in the St. Louis metropolitan area, check to see if you have a store in your area that takes donated fabric or found fabric and sells it. We have the city sewing room over across the river. They sell a lot of donated stuff. You can get stuff there at a bargain.
Yeah.
But again, not necessarily quilt shop quality, not necessarily bolts, but you can find all kinds of hidden gems there, I'm sure.
Right. Yep, for sure. So again, it's not the end of the world with all the things going on that are happening quilty related. So I think Google did a decent job.
Sure.
I am going to side with Janice up here, who said that we are smarter than Google.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I agree, 100%. But it did fairly well.
Sure.
I do love using it. It's fun to get a nice little synopsis and see what it pulls in there.
I think we use it relatively responsibly because we're still adding that human element in.
Absolutely.
It's not smart enough to do anything on its own yet
No.
at this point, and I wouldn't really want it to.
No.
And I especially don't
Unless it's going
want
to
it
make me coffee.
Yeah, and I don't want it to take over my art. I want it to do the stuff
no.
I don't want to do.
I want to do it. Yeah, the things
I
don't
want to
wanna
do the art.
If it can go, I don't know, do the floors for me,
Right?
that'd be great.
Clean my bathroom, please.
Maybe clean the bathroom real good.
would be great.
That'd be super. Make dinner. I mean,
Just decide what we're having for dinner.
just make the decision.
Anyway, like, why do we eat so often?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Y'all know.
Real quick, just want to address a couple things here. Donnell's using her Janome 3160. Yes, ma'am. I know
Love
that.
it.
It's a great machine. Deborah Sewing Center is now stocking Gutermann threads. Okay, yep, that's, great. Always check and see what your local shops have for you thread-wise. That's really a great way to go about it.
For sure.
Pamela, good to see you.
Hi,
Hope everything's going
Pam.
well down in Alabama. Absolutely watch the replay. And 2.0, have you thought about doing the unboxing of fabric again? Well, yes, but here's the reality of it, 2.0. sometimes fabric comes in and the chance of anybody having time to just show it off. Yeah. I need like 18 more people.
Realistically, yes.
I think we're short-staffed by about 18. I mean, Danielle's out, so we've lost 20 people there.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
It's just...
She's amazing.
Woo,
Just absolutely
she'll be
amazing.
back soon enough, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe when Danielle's back, we might do more unboxings.
Okay.
But we also kind of have Wednesday to highlight some of the things we've got going on.
Yeah.
So if you're missing the unboxings, definitely check out Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a good way to see the new stuff coming in, because we always show at least 1 or 2 lines that are new for coming in addition to some better stuff.
Yes.
Danielle says we need to, okay, boss.
We will, Danielle.
We'll unbox her when she comes back.
Vicky says she volunteers as tribute. Perfect.
All right, well, I guess we're going to have to Vicky on the schedule. I guess that's going to have how it works, so. All right, at this point, I can't think of much else that I need to throw out there. If you are looking for a sewing machine, there are some great deals going on this month.
Absolutely.
Same with HandiQuilter. They've got a great promo going on this month. We are not an AccuQuilt dealer, but they do have a free promo going on to get an AccuQuilt machine plus some dies to go with it. Kind of a neat deal that they're doing. So good time to buy a machine if you're looking for one.
Absolutely.
Come on in.
Yes.
Let's get you set up. Let's get you home with the new machine. You're going to enjoy every minute of it.
Yes. Even some of the Janomes have a bundle. You get a
they all have some sort of great
scissors
deal
or
with
a
it.
table or a whatever.
Yes.
So
I even have a Skyline in stock. If you want one to go home with too today, come on in and get it.
It's a great machine. It's the one I have at home. I love it so much.
She wants to trade hers in and get a new S6.
I do. I want the one that's in the box. Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. Here's the thing. Let me tell you.
That machine is so wonderful. They've been making it for 10 years. So they had to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. And now it's a little sleeker and it comes with an extension table.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with 25 bobbins.
That's a whole pack of bobbins and it's a whole thing. The pins, clippies, a little thing to put your needles in.
I didn't get any of that.
None of that.
I'm so mad. No, I'm not. I love it.
Okay.
I love my machine. We're connected. It's fine. I will keep mine.
Anyway, come in, see us today. Get some fabric, get some sewing machines, do all the things. I'm done. You done?
Yeah.
You good over there?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Also, just check in with your quilt shop. We love you and we worry about you.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's all.
We're getting out of here.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.